And on today's show, claiming strategies for widows, divorcees, and singles. Part 5 of this week's series on the strategies to max Social Security benefits with Social Security strategist and expert Brian Doherty. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Backroom Technician and Innsmark. Let's get down to business. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thanks, Steve.
Wow, all week long, Social Security, my learning curve's going through the roof. We did 2 major strategies yesterday. We're going to add a couple more to the plate today. These strategies are going to be the difference for about, I'm going to say, the vast majority of Americans whose only retirement is Social Security.
Yes.
These strategies could really make the difference between walking through retirement in poverty and having a little bit of golden years in their senior years.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is why this is dramatic.
Yes.
So it's not just, even if everybody that's watching us today were advisors, and it's not, we usually pull a lot of consumers who watch the show. I'm very interested to see how many people are going to go, I need to know exactly what I need to do here. This could be the difference for me. And I think this is powerful.
Absolutely, Steve. And especially for divorcees or widows and single individuals. But what I found is that most people that were divorced, first of all, if you were married for at least 10 years before you got a divorce, you have access to some incredible Social Security claiming strategies. Most people don't know that.
Okay, whoa, let's just go there. So I have a person that's been at least married 10 years.
Yes.
They haven't seen their spouse for a long time. But their spouse now has Social Security benefits.
Yes.
That divorced person could go and get their spouse's Social Security based on his age, right?
Yes.
And she could actually do, and he has nothing to do with this.
He has nothing to do with it. What a divorced spouse can do is, first of all, if they haven't remarried, they could get a spousal benefit based on their ex-spouse's benefit. So they'd be entitled to 50% of whatever their ex-spouse was getting. Now, it doesn't affect the ex-spouse's benefit at all. Mm-hmm. They still get their full benefit. The person applying, the divorcee applying for the spousal benefit is entitled to 50% of that spouse's benefit. So, especially if their ex-spouse has a much higher benefit than theirs, that could be a huge advantage and greatly increase their income.
Did I hear you right? What if they were remarried? Then that's off the table? Then?
That's off the table from a spousal benefit standpoint. But they could still, if they remarry after age 60, they're still entitled to a survivor benefit. So if their ex-spouse dies, they're being entitled to the full benefit of their ex-spouse when they were alive. So let's say the ex-spouse was getting $2,500 a month, and the divorcee was only getting $1,200 a month. The ex-spouse dies. The divorcee could file for a survivor benefit and start to receive $2,500 every month for the rest of her or his life.
Okay, well, my fantasy just went to another level here of imagination. I have people that have been married and divorced a couple times. Now, who do you just pick the one that pays the most, or? You
could, absolutely. In fact, if say a man had been divorced and remarried, say he's been married 3 times. He's got 2 ex-spouses. If each one of those marriages lasted for 10 years, then the 2 ex-spouses would be entitled to claim a spousal benefit or a survivor benefit if he dies, and his existing spouse would be able to do the same thing. So all 3 of them would be entitled to either a spousal or a survivor benefit. No,
did I get that? That's proviso that they actually are not married at this time unless they're age 60.
And they were married for at least 10 years before they got a divorce, yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking we're making a lot of people happy right now in this segment, because I'm thinking, wow, if you consider you've had 1 or 2 marriages, and I picked the one that I think is the highest one.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like, wow, I thought I was done with this. There's some money to be had here. How many people know this, and how many people do it?
It's been my experience, just anecdotal, doing seminars, that first of all, usually up to half of the people in the room are divorced or have been divorced,
right,
and none of them know about it. The other thing that individuals should know about is if they're widowed or widowers, they have access to a survivor benefit. And although I know it'd be terrible if one of their spouses died, say, in their 50s, but when they come up to claim Social Security, they actually have a lot of flexibility. They could either claim a survivor benefit and defer their own benefit so that it continues to grow up until age 70, and the whole time they're deferring, they could collect the survivor benefit. Or if the survivor benefit is going to be bigger than their own benefit, they could claim their own benefit at age 62, and then at age 66 they could switch over to the higher survivor benefit, again maximizing their Social Security income. Most people don't know this, Steve, and it's incredibly important that
I'm trying to think of how many advisors know this. To know these kind of strategies could really make the difference. If you're in retirement planning and you're an advisor who exclusively works in this area, this is a huge area for you because you could get in front of new prospects with a silver bullet.
Yes.
You'd be the only guy coming with income.
Yes. And it's been my experience when I show this to people, they know nothing about it. They're blown away and they're incredibly appreciative. And if a financial advisor were to do this for a client or a prospect, I think they'd have the same experience. And I think they'd end up being that individual's sole financial advisor.
Now, I think when you bring to the table value addeds like this, where we're actually bringing actual income with no principal, no investment necessary, this is a huge issue. Now, I just want to make sure, I want to redux just to make sure I understood. So in summary, if I have divorce, I have to be at least married prior 10 years.
Yes.
If I had multiple spouses, I could pick the one that has the highest value, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I still have to wait to get that to my 62nd birthday, right? I can't get it in my 50s, right? I have to wait.
Right, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, so some things like that. But really, that could be something to look forward to. I actually have income that I didn't know I had.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of people leave it on the table because they don't know about it.
We come back from the break. We're going to finish off this whole week. We're going to kind of do a redux and talk a little bit more about this. This is a huge, huge benefit for advisors to pick up on these tactics and start to insert them into their total quiver. This is a really great idea. We'll be right back from the break. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to our second segment, and I have to say, I'm kind of excited. Brian, we've been talking about all these tactics the last couple of days, and now, before you really got into this, you started to you were with New York Life for a little while.
Yes.
You started to talk to other advisors about this. Did they even know this? You did this for about 5-6 years. Did they even know anything about this?
They didn't know anything about or much about Social Security. And what I did my last 5 or 6 years at New York Life, I went around and we trained financial advisors, thousands of them actually, on the challenges that people face in retirement once they retire. As you know, they're different from when they're working and saving for retirement. And we tried to show them how they could overcome all those challenges. And Steve, I have to be honest with you, for the first 4 years or whatever I was doing this, I didn't mention Social Security at all because I didn't know anything about it. But like I said in a previous episode, I started reading research about Social Security and was blown away with how the program worked. And then I realized that a financial advisor to do a full retirement income plan has to start with a Social Security claiming decision.
I'll be honest with you, the last 4 plans that I saw myself had nothing to do with Social Security. It was all asset allocation, annuities, some cash value life insurance, securities, ETFs, qualified and non-qualified. I didn't see any incorporation of the client's Social Security. Why do you think advisors leave this off the table?
Probably because, like me, they didn't think it was going to be that important, especially if their clients have accumulated assets. They'll probably make the assumption, like I did, that they're going to use those accumulated assets to generate the income that they need, and Social Security is just going to be a small piece of it. But what I realized, Steve, when I trained financial advisors about the challenges, your viewers and you probably know, some of the biggest ones are longevity, living too long, you have inflation, and you have withdrawal rate risk. So I looked at, in previous episodes, we showed what happens at age 70, how much, if they use these strategies, how much bigger their Social Security income will be at age 70. Well, that is guaranteed lifetime income. That's a form of longevity insurance. So if you maximize your Social Security income, you're actually creating a much higher level of guaranteed lifetime income for your clients and getting them a larger amount of longevity insurance, reducing longevity risk, which is a good thing to do. Now, if you look at inflation, now you have the COLA option from Social Security. You're applying that COLA percentage to a much bigger number, resulting in much bigger dollar increases for your clients every year. And the longer they live, the better it's going to be. And you've positioned themselves to be in one of the best positions possible to deal with inflation.
Well, I love the art of, you finally have to talk people into waiting till 70. Okay, they finally, okay, you defeated the longevity question. You've said, okay, this is really the better deal. Where are you going to get 8% for the next 4 years, guaranteed?
Right.
132% of your original FRA. Those are all big numbers. But the thing that I think is most artful about this whole week is that segue position between 66 and age 70 and finding new money. I remember the first time we were in a seminar with one of our top retirement. He teaches at the American College. He got up there. We did one calculation for one advisor who just happened to know his stuff cold. It was worth to him $62,000 between age 66 and age 70 to do one of the strategies you were just alluding to. See, that's real money.
That's real money, and that's over that 4-year period of time. And if you look at it over a longer period of time, if they say even live to their life expectancy, let's say in their early 80s, they could be making additional tens of thousands of dollars more, in a lot of cases hundreds of thousands of dollars more, by using one of the strategies I showed you in the prior episodes.
I've noticed in a lot of retirement modeling, those first 3 to 4 years of retirement, you really there needs to be a kind of a bump up. You're not used to having you're coming off wages, now going to retirement. Having that extra money between age 66 and age 70, that is the segue money for most middle Americans. I mean, that is going to be the play.
That's going to be the play. And one other thing I want to mention, I know a lot of your viewers do retirement income planning or financial planning. One of the biggest challenges in retirement for people that have money is reducing their withdrawal rate, getting their withdrawal rate down as low as possible. Now, I don't know what the ideal withdrawal rate is. It used to be, they used to say it was 4%. Now some say it's 3%. Some say it's 2.8%. You know, there's a lot of argument around that issue. But what I do know is if you reduce the withdrawal rate, you greatly increase the probability that the client's assets are going to last as long as they live, if not longer. So using these strategies, if you increase your client's Social Security income by up to 40, 50, sometimes 75%, you do that means they have to take out less money from their assets to maintain their quality of life, standard of living, pay all their bills. So as a result of doing that, you greatly reduce the withdrawal rate from their assets, and you greatly increase the probability that their assets are going to last as long as they live. And Steve, I don't know if there's anything better than that.
I don't know if you can do retirement planning without incorporating Social Security. And I like your line. I think that needs to be the cornerstone and the beginning.
The beginning.
The beginning. I need to find that out. And again, this segue time between age 66 and 70, that to me is like money that I'm leaving on the table.
Right.
These strategies are so important. And when your book comes out, it's coming out here. What's the title of the book again?
Getting Paid to Wait.
Getting Paid to Wait. I tell you what, I've never thought that being patient was going to be worth so much.
It is. And you know, you're right on in terms of retirement income planning. This should be the first thing that you do. It creates an opportunity for financial advisors to do that. They will get to people before anybody else because so few financial advisors are actually helping people make this Social Security claiming decision. And it's one of the most important financial decisions of their life.
Brian, thank you so much for being on our show. That's all the time we have for today. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Just hop out to our video archives. And remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you next week.